Well, good evening. Welcome to General Committee for May 14th, 2024. It is 6 o'clock on the dot. I would like to call to order this meeting with a roll call. I am Lee Peterson, Alderman from Ward 2, and also in my committee is
Bob Garza, Alderman, Ward 3.
I always start with the vice
Jim
mayor.
Waters, Alderman, Ward 6.
And if we could just go around the room and introduce ourselves, we have some guests.
Mayor Jamie Cleary.
Alderman Karen Dixon.
Lance Ray, City Attorney.
JP Finnegan, GIS Coordinator.
Jesse Eckenoff, Chief of Operations.
Jason Gallo, Administrative Services Director.
All right, thank you, Jason, for putting our agenda together tonight. I would like to accept the agenda as it is before us tonight.
So moved. Second.
All right, we have a proper motion from Mr. Garza and a second from Mr. Waters. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes unanimously. And have y'all had a chance to read from last month's minutes
Yes.
that are in your packet?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great. Would we like to review the minutes or can we get a motion to approve?
No, make a motion to approve. And I second that.
Okay, I have a proper motion from Mr. Waters to accept the minutes and a second from Mr. Garza. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes. And that was for the April 9th, 2024 meeting. Next on the agenda is citizen comments. And Jason, I believe no one signed up to speak
Correct.
tonight. And we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, ordinances and resolutions. And our first one is reading of ordinance 2024-09, an ordinance amending the Hendersonville Municipal Code Title II, Chapter 4, Section 2-401, extending the terms of the Golf Course Commission members. Mayor, you and Alderman Robertson have sponsored this bill. Would you like to enlighten us on this ordinance?
Sure. Since the Golf Course Commission was set up more than 20 years ago, the terms of 5 members have always had the same time. They start and end at the same time. We've known this and we've sort of known that's a bad idea. We finally decided to do something about it. We can't reduce the number of terms that somebody's been appointed to. But we can extend them. And so what we're doing here is we are creating staggered terms. And the way we do that is by extending some people 1 year, extending some people 2 years, and then in one case extending somebody 3 years. So that so one person roll off, one person the next year, one person roll off, next year, one person roll off, next year, 2 people roll off, next year, one person roll off. And so there's still 3-year terms, but it will work out that they will be staggered. So no more than 2 people will roll off at a time.
Okay, that makes sense because as it is now, all 5 left.
All 5 of them are up for renewal, I think July. Or maybe they're all up in renewal at the same time. Might be
Okay.
July next year, I can't remember.
Yeah, that makes it difficult for the commission if they have to have 5 new members.
Yeah, excuse me, it's 3 years, but in here it says it moves the terms from 2 years to 4 years. 4 years, yeah. Folks. I'm at page 8. I went over to our part. From 2 to 4.
Yeah, this says 4-year terms.
That's what I was gonna ask you.
Are they 3-year terms?
I'm checking.
So I'm getting a little confused with possibly another committee, but I'm pretty sure they're 3-year terms. We're gonna ask our city attorney.
Okay,
It looked like to me we were doing similar to Boma.
They were,
They're staggered every 2 years, but everybody gets 4.
they're 2-year, they were originally 2-year terms. But I guess our math did 4 years, didn't we?
I mean, I like the idea.
Yeah, we did.
Let me ask you a question, Mayor. Does that mean we're gonna move them all up for 4 years?
No, that wasn't the intention.
I think the intention was to stagger the terms, but I think we got maybe confused with 2 terms versus 4, 2 years versus 4 years.
I missed that too. Can we put this off for a month?
We sure can.
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
We catch people.
Is
who
it,
are somewhere.
because it's not pressing or anything, is it? When are these terms up?
They are up January 2025.
Okay, so we can wait till next month to do that. Let's go ahead.
Make that motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to extend ordinance 2024-09 until the next meeting.
Would you like to defer that?
To the next meeting.
Yes?
Yep. So-
Okay,
Yes.
all right, perfect. I have a motion to defer ordinance 2024-09 for 1 month. And I have a second from Mr. Waters and the motion from Mr. Garza. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that passes unanimously. My phone was off. All right, next item is reading of ordinance 2024-10, an ordinance authorizing the transfer of the city's 1/2 ownership interest in the library to Sumner County.
Explain that to me.
Sure.
Is that, I didn't see a period. Am I missing anything with? Okay, Mayor, you are also sponsoring this ordinance. Would you like to speak on that one?
Sure. As half owner of the library, we also took on an obligation to contribute toward the maintenance of the library. And we also took on the obligation that we would contribute toward the operation of the library. 2 different things, maintenance and operations. Maintenance is mostly provided by our staff with a small budget, $30,000 a year.
Yeah, we do it sometimes internally with our public works staff, sorry, but.
So it's paint, it's toilet paper, it's paper towels, it's doing some simple maintenance with the staff. So that's one of our expenses. The other expenses that we're expected to provide approximately, we're at 50 right now, $50,000 to the county for them to spend on the operations of it. One of the problems that we have is that we've had situations where you've had some larger repairs that fall into a gray area of whose responsibility is it. And the county can make a case it's not theirs, we can make a case it's not ours, but at the end of the day, we've had some needs that the library hasn't had solved. And so we've had air conditioning out for a little while, we've had elevator out for a little while. I feel like the city's been more than generous in helping to solve those problems, but they're just gonna continue. And so what we talked about when some folks from the county came here a couple months ago was, it's better if just one of us owned it. We asked them if they wanted to give us their half. They said no. And they said, but y'all can give us your half. Really what that does is that reduce the maintenance that we spend on it. We will still give them the $50,000 that they expect for the operations, but we'll no longer be expected to provide that day-to-day maintenance. Our staff, the paper towels, the toilet paper, the other things we provide, we won't be expected to do that. That'll be the county's responsibility. So in the big picture, what this means is that we're spending less money in the library. The library is still expected to operate just as it does now, and we'll get rid of some headaches of whose responsibility is it.
Is that a nonprofit?
The 50,000 comes out of our nonprofit budget, it does, and right now we're at 70 because we bumped it up last year expecting them to add hours, and that has not happened.
Will we remove all that?
We will keep the 50,000 that's in the budget this year, actually 70,000 in the budget this year. I don't
Yes.
anticipate that the county is going to spend money for more hours. That might happen. But at the very least, we get rid of that 30,000 that we spend on everyday maintenance.
But I don't think I would give them a check for the additional 20 either.
So what we had told them years ago was that if they increase the hours,
Correct.
we'll pay for half of that. That was one of those $40,000 increase the hours. I'm honestly not sure what it is.
But they didn't do it.
They didn't do it. We are not giving the additional 20,000 until they add more hours.
We did budget for 70 this year,
But we
just
gave
in
it to them
case.
last year.
No, we did.
Oh, we did. Okay.
We keep budgeting 70, we only give them 50.
Right.
Because
They
they
have,
have reserves.
still not open on Friday, are
They're still not open on Friday. So that's sort of a secondary issue that we hope to work through. We wanted to sort of expect that of them, but they weren't willing to put that in the agreement. So we're gonna hope for it, but we still get out of the 30,000 plus, approximately $30,000 maintenance obligation if we give them our half of the library.
We have no voting rights in that either.
Also asked about that. They weren't willing to bend on that because it says the county library board, we can make suggestions. And they have asked me for suggestions in the past. We can make some suggestions, but at the end of the day, the county commission makes those decisions. Who's our library?
And our residents suffer because the library's still not open on Friday. I am in favor of this. I would like the county to deal with all the issues.
I'm in favor of it too.
Yep, second it. Good motion.
Oh, any more discussion? I was just
No,
talking out loud.
It was a nice lead-in.
that's a nice loud out.
Okay, well, I made that motion and I
I
believe
seconded.
Mr. Garza seconded. All those in favor of ordinance 2024-10, an ordinance authorizing the transfer of Hendersonville's 1/2 ownership interest in the library to Sumner County, say aye. Aye, that passes unanimously. Okay, item number,
Let me ask you, we done voted, but there's no way we can make them open on Fridays.
And the reason is because they pay the staff.
Yeah.
And so last week, they closed the day after the storms, and somebody asked me, don't they have to ask you for that, since you own half the library? I said, technically, yes, but if they tell the staff not to show up,
Yeah.
we can't open the
Right.
library.
thank you, I will expand. Where did the $50,000 come from? I mean, how did we come up with that amount?
It's a really good question. That's what we've been doing since I've been here. You,
I don't know.
That's,
I would like to revisit that amount at the time and maybe reduce that even further.
at the nonprofit meeting or now?
With the county when it's an appropriate time.
okay, so we can talk to them about that. It's gonna be hard to get them to add more hours if we reduce the amount of money we're giving to them.
Okay, that's the 20,000 for
Right.
additional hours.
Right.
The 50,000, I would like to know where that amount came from.
We do have an ordinance that was signed by the county mayor at the time, right?
That's right.
But I'm not sure if it states that 50,000 in there. But it's really wide open. But that's what they came at us with, to get us to pay for the
Okay,
elevator.
How come we went up to 70? Do you recall?
Yeah, we went up to 70 to entice them. It was like a handshake agreement, right?
Pretty close.
Yeah, if we split the difference and we'll pay half and you can pay half, you will open on Fridays, but that never happened.
I see.
And we can't necessarily blame the current county commissioners for that, to be honest with you.
no, I think, yeah, that was in place before
Yeah.
all of them took office, but I am concerned about the 50,000, our goodwill gesture for additional funds to be open on Friday, and the county still hasn't allowed that to happen. And I also have questions about us giving the 50,000 with the additional 20, the total 70,000 out of our nonprofit budget. This is a quasi-government entity, which really shouldn't be operating as a nonprofit.
It's gone back and forth in different budgets since I've been here.
Yes. So maybe we can also clear that up at the time.
We don't meet no more this year, do we?
We're gonna meet 5 minutes to go up to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
We
That's
will?
it, yeah.
But that gives me some input for next year's budget. So, So, so how can we get that additional, how can we get those?
Yes, I think we're all in together that we want to continue supporting the library. It's critical for the city and our residents, but we need to do it wisely. Okay, our next item, if there's no more discussion, is reading of resolution 2024-20, a resolution reappointing the city's representative to the Sumner County Board of Equalization. And Mary, you're sponsoring this, and that I did have to read because I had no idea there was a board of equalization.
Most people didn't until about 2 weeks ago.
Okay,
Those are the people you take your appeal to on your taxes.
on your property taxes.
Yeah. So, as the biggest county as biggest city in the county, we have the opportunity to appoint 2 people. And they asked us that a couple years ago. We had 1, and we had an alternate. We couldn't really find 2. It's hard to find people to do this because they have to have some understanding of the real estate business, and they have to be available for 3 months every day. And it's hard to find somebody who can do both. So Jonathan Hayes had done it before, and then he became an alderman, so we couldn't reappoint him. Oliver Berry has done it, and we had an alternate last time. And so Oliver has said that he's willing to do it again. And all reports are that he does a good job. We tried to find a second person, and it's been tough. So what we did is we came up with Chris Charlton, who actually lives in Gallatin, used to live in Hendersonville. And we felt like, and I mean, I've talked to no fewer than 14 people in the past 2 years to fill a second slot, and it's been hard. So Chris Charlton was somebody that Mayor Isbell suggested to me, and even though he lives in Gallatin, he's got a background in Hendersonville, and he works all over the county, so I thought he'd be.
And do we have terms in place like we do the golf course commission?
We do, but I don't know what those are.
Okay,
Because the other ones are really appointed by the county, and they have the majority of the board.
okay, so they're basically just looking for 2 representatives from Hendersonville. Okay,
And I'm very open if somebody has.
Has
another
he
nomination.
accepted this?
Yes, both of them.
But he lives in Gallup.
He doesn't go. If you can find me somebody in Hendersonville, I'm happy to call them.
do you know any realtors?
It's hard, like you said, it's hard to find somebody that's got that kind of
Yes.
experience, and I don't know.
Not for the time.
We've looked at people who do property appraisals, people who do lending. It's just hard to find somebody to do it.
Can this 3-day schedule maybe be revised?
Not by us. So it's really dictated by the number of appeals they get,
Okay,
which is going to be sizable.
To who you want,
Yes.
make a motion to accept it.
okay, I have a motion to accept reading of resolution 2024-20, resolution reappointing the city's 2 representatives to the Sumner County Board of Equalization.
Second that.
And we have a motion from Mr. Waters and a second from Mr. Garza. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
That passes unanimously. Okay, let's move on to other agenda items, and it is other business. And do we have any other business? Do we have any old business?
I just want to find me some boots. Don't blame you.
Okay,
I'm just.
no business.
You got anything
I-
else?
I just want to make a motion
How about you make a motion?
to adjourn.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a proper motion from Mr. Garza to adjourn and a second from Mr. Waters. All those in favor say aye. Aye, that passes unanimously. Thank you very much. JP, thank you.
Thank you. We're done.
You only